Should a single company control the keys to the AI revolution, or is this just another story of corporate success? Why is a Dutch firm at the heart of the global chip war? How did ASML become Europe's most valuable company? And what happens when its monopoly inspires an Asian Manhattan project? These questions frame the story of extreme ultraviolet lithography, a process so vital that without it, there would be no generative AI chatbots or next-generation smartphones, and the incredible lengths nations are going to secure it. ASML's machines have propelled the company to a market value exceeding $500 billion, making it Europe's most valuable company. ASML's extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV systems, sit at the center of modern chip production. They use light at a wavelength of 13.5 nanometers to etch circuits that are a few atoms wide, packing billions of transistors onto silicon wafers. ASML spent 2 decades and billions of euros perfecting the process. Its first working prototype emerged in 2001, and the first commercial chips were produced only in 2019. Each EUV machine contains around 100,000 parts and costs roughly $120 million. To ship one of these giant systems to a customer requires 40 freight containers, 3 cargo planes, and 20 trucks. ASML's machines are the size of a bus and weigh about 180 tons. There are only a few dozen of them on Earth, and the backlog of orders stretches for years. This rarity and complexity make EUV the ultimate bottleneck in semiconductor manufacturing. Inside each system, a generator drops tiny droplets of molten tin into a vacuum. A high-power laser then strikes the droplets 50,000 times per second. The impact turns the tin into plasma at around 200,000 degrees Celsius, producing extreme ultraviolet light. The light is collected by mirrors that take months to fabricate and are among the most precise optical surfaces ever made. TSMC, the laser supplier, notes that its CO2 laser amplifiers boost pulses to tens of kilowatts, while ASML integrates this light source with precision optics from Germany's Zeiss to produce over 100 wafers an hour. The engineering marvels behind EUV include not just lasers and optics, but ultra-clean vacuums, vibration-free stages, and nanometer-accurate metrology. These machines are so challenging to build that even companies like Nikon and Canon have been unable to match them. ASML's near monopoly is why governments treat EUV as a national security asset. Washington recognized this strategic significance early. In 2018, US officials pressed the Dutch government to block ASML from exporting EUV machines to China. The Biden administration expanded these controls in 2022 to include older deep ultraviolet equipment, aiming to keep China at least one generation behind. No EUV system has ever been sold to a Chinese customer. This policy, intended to maintain Western dominance, runs through a supply chain stretching from Dutch lithography to Taiwanese chip fabrication. ASML's machines, which cost about $250 million, are indispensable to chip makers like TSMC and Samsung. The AI boom pushed ASML's share price to new highs, and by early 2026, the company had surpassed a $500 billion market capitalization, extending its lead as Europe's most valuable company. While Washington tightened controls, Beijing launched its own Manhattan project. According to a detailed Reuters investigation, a secret team in Shenzhen completed a working prototype of a EUV machine in early 2025. The machine, built by former ASML engineers, occupies an entire factory floor and can generate extreme ultraviolet light, though it has yet to produce working chips. The Chinese government aims to fabricate chips using this prototype by 2028, but insiders believe 2030 is more realistic. Beijing's objective is clear: to remove the United States from its supply chains and produce advanced chips on fully domestic machines. This secret initiative has been underway for 6 years and is overseen by Ding Xuexiang, a close confidant of Xi Jinping. Huawei coordinates a sprawling network of state research institutes and private firms involving thousands of engineers. Recruitment has been aggressive. China has targeted former ASML employees with signing bonuses of 3 to 5 million yuan and assistance with housing. Many of these recruits are Chinese-born and possess intimate knowledge of EUV. When they arrive in Shenzhen, they receive identification cards bearing false names and are instructed to use aliases even among colleagues. Some naturalized citizens of other countries have been given Chinese passports, despite China's ban on dual citizenship, to secure their participation. ASML has limited ability to monitor ex-employees under European privacy laws, and cross-border enforcement of non-disclosure agreements is nearly impossible. In 2019, ASML won an $845 million judgment against a former engineer accused of stealing trade secrets. But the defendant filed for bankruptcy and continued working in Beijing. A Dutch intelligence report warned that China has used extensive espionage programs to recruit Western scientists and employees. Inside the Shenzhen facility, secrecy rivals that of the Manhattan Project. Employees sleep on site and are barred from returning home during the work week, with phone access restricted. Teams are kept isolated from each other to protect confidentiality. One former ASML engineer was surprised to recognize colleagues working under aliases. Life magazine's 1945 report on the Manhattan Project at Oak Ridge noted that workers labored under the threat of 10 years in prison or a $10,000 fine for leaking secrets, a level of secrecy echoed in the modern Shenzhen lab. China's engineering challenges are immense. ASML's most advanced EUV systems are roughly the size of a school bus and weigh 180 tons. After failing to replicate ASML's compact design, Chinese researchers scaled up their prototype, making it much larger to increase power. Replicating the precision optics supplied by Zeiss remains the biggest hurdle. To source parts, China has scavenged older ASML machines from second-hand markets. Auctions in China sold such equipment as recently as October 2025. A team of around 100 recent graduates spends its days dismantling and reassembling components under constant video surveillance, receiving bonuses when they succeed. The lasers still strike molten tin 50,000 times per second to create plasma, but the system must maintain sufficient power without introducing contamination, an achievement analysts say will mark meaningful progress. Beijing's Manhattan Project exposes the paradox at the heart of export controls. By denying China access to advanced tools, Washington hoped to freeze its progress. Instead, these restrictions have removed any incentive for dependence. Partial access has become the most dangerous position for Chinese firms. Survival now requires full vertical integration. This is why China's program mirrors the Manhattan Project. Unlimited state resources are mobilized around a single technological objective. Secrecy is enforced through compartmentalization and aliases, and the project recruits top engineers from abroad. Just as the original Manhattan Project threatened workers with prison and fines to enforce silence, today's engineers in Shenzhen operate under strict confidentiality. The difference is that this race is not to build a bomb, but to achieve technological sovereignty. Should the United States and its allies continue to rely on choke points to constrain rivals, or is this strategy merely accelerating the rise of new competitors? How long can technological denial preserve Western dominance before diffusion becomes inevitable? China does not need EUV machines as advanced as ASML's to change the strategic equation. It needs systems that are good enough for military electronics, AI accelerators, and sovereign computing. By 2026, ASML's dominance has made it a symbol of Europe's industrial prowess. Yet its monopoly has also inspired a clandestine counter-effort. The outcome of this technological Cold War will not hinge on a single machine, but on whether monopolies can hold in a world where knowledge, once proven possible, rarely remains exclusive for long.